Good afternoon, everybody. It is Saturday afternoon, and woke up pretty late. Stayed up pretty late last night, which is very rare for me. But I hung out with my best friend and caught up with him and just hung out in his backyard that they just redid and got to see his family who I love to see, and then just kind of hung out, and it was really fun. So yeah, slept in, and now I am sweating out anything from last night that might have not been the best for me. Yeah, sometimes it's so hard because like I do consider myself a sober human being, but like ever so often. And I know even I know I'm old enough for it, but just because you're like old enough, I'm honestly, part of me is like, I need to grow out of this. Like this is, and I have been through, I've already like felt that way, but like, so at this point it's like maybe even like because I have a certain goal, I do get disappointed in myself when I don't follow those like beliefs that I have for myself. So anyways, but then it was like good for me to do. Like it's good for me to go see my friend. It's good for me to catch up. It's good to socialize. So, but you don't need to do both, but I guess certain like things like help you socialize. Anyways, and I know stressing about it isn't helpful either, but I just do stress about it because it's like serious, it's like real stuff that like really matters, and it's like serious stuff. So yeah, so I just come in here and like freak out for like 20 minutes and then go back home. Super excited, going out to dinner with my sister and dad tonight, and gonna drive us down there. So I also stopped by the store and I filled my water. Put some electrolytes in there too. One of my favorite things to do if I don't go out I really barely go out, but if I ever do, my favorite thing to do is grab a water at the store, an ice cold water, or just fill your favorite cup and put some electrolyte powder in there. It's just hydrating. You're doing something good for your body. You're doing something that's showing that you're taking care of yourself. For me, it's grounding, and I'm gonna come on here and open up. I definitely struggle with anxiety. I always have. I'm just an anxious person, I guess. I'm very sensitive to things. I'm sensitive to certain things. Just like sometimes I'm even sensitive to like just being alive. Like the fact that we're even alive is like so overwhelming for me sometimes. And I know that's like a weird problem to have, but like waking up every day, like I'm like, there's just a whole world out there with endless opportunities. It's so overwhelming for me. And yes, people can say, well, just focus on what you're doing, but like my brain will just wonder what's going on. Like my brain's like wondering what's happening on the other side of the world. Like what are they doing, you know? I think it's really cool too. It's like sad to me that news these days is like, we've gotten so conditioned to it just about being like horrible news. But it's like, what if we were just on constant contact with these other countries? Like, just, how's it going over there? Like, we now have this ability this technology was made for good. So, anyways, I'm gonna sit in here and fester in the heat and sweat it all out. Hey guys, so just finished up in the sauna. Did about 30 minutes, enough that it was all sweat out. That's what really needed to happen. Like, yes, time is important and it's great to keep track of time. Simultaneously, the most important thing is getting to a state where you're not just like barely sweating. You want to be like really sweating. You want to get to the state where your body's temperature's probably increased. Like, I need to figure out the exact temperature that it increases, but there's a point that you get to when you feel like, okay, it's went through one full cycle. There has to be some type of cycle because there's like the first stages when you're first introduced to the heat where you get a little sweaty, but it's not quite there. It's almost like when you exercised a little and you worked up a little bit of a sweat. That's my least favorite thing. I would rather not work out at all than work out a little and just have that like really uncomfortable feeling of like just a little sweat. I need to sweat a full cycle of sweat in. So I did 30 minutes, I believe, and then just showered, and honestly, I was overwhelmed because I knew that there's always things that need to be done. Whether it's cleaning your car, organizing your clothes, making your room cleaner, or going through clothes. Like there's literally always something that has to be done. But I was like, I was overwhelmed, and I was like, have you ever just you're in the shower, right? And you're like, how am I going to use this time in the shower? So you're thinking about what you're going to do, what you should be doing. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like it was such a calm day today, and I didn't even work out. I literally just went in the sauna, which stressed me out a little bit, but I knew that's what I needed. I just needed calm. It's what I need is to understand, to make me feel safe in the world. I need to understand that just being is completely normal and it's necessary. And not only that, it's reality. Reality is just, sometimes we're just there, like here, and you shouldn't have to do anything, and you should be able to, what happened to the world is like pleasure was taken away. That's what's really wrong, and that's why there's so much disease, is because what's the opposite of disease? It's pleasure. And when you keep doing things that aren't pleasurable or stress you out, it causes disease and lead to death. And that's why it breaks my heart, is that there's such a shame around it when clearly people are suffering. And it's like just baffling to me that like we haven't, as like a society, even pressed on these issues. Maybe we do, and I'm just like so unaware, but like on a serious, like deep level, it's like you'd think, in my perspective, like in my brain, there's like some leader coming in and just saying, all right, let's change this up because people are suffering, yeah, so anywho, I guess I haven't really stopped stressing as much as I was in the sauna. I'll show you guys my outfit. I'm picking this one. I'm going to dinner with my sister and my dad, but my sister actually saw this outfit hanging right here where I do all my like clothes setups, and that's where I'll hang my outfits. It's actually really fun for me. I love putting together outfits, and this helps me like visualize it and put it in one specific area. So this one was hanging and she saw it. So we have, I wish I had better light. Okay, my mirror's a little dirty. Definitely a good reminder to clean that, but I have on some Lucky Brand vintage, or not vintage, but thrifted jeans from one of my favorite thrift stores. And I love the Lucky Brand in general. I love the style of their clothes, are so cool and classic and just awesome. So it's staple, and these are amazing because they're slightly flared, just enough that when I pair it with my combat boots, it's a perfect situation. And they're like slightly stretchy, one of my favorites, really good find. Thrift stores are my favorite places to find really cool brands that might be cheaper. So yeah. And then underneath this, I have on a Skims, and this used to be a bodysuit from Skims, and I love Skims. I think she did a really great thing. And because why I think she did such a good thing is because the material is pretty good quality and it's moderately priced so that people can all kinds of people can buy pretty good quality things that go with everything. And yeah, I just love what she did. Anyways, so I cut this actually. It used to be a full body, but it was kind of on the little too smaller side, so it kept riding up and just wasn't good. Anywho, and then on top I have this collared. It's a Ruka, which is another one of my. These are like some of my favorite brands. Ruka is absolutely one of my favorite brands, and this is why. So it's like, I got a large so that it honestly even gave slight kimono vibes. And so I did my hair in like kind of like that type of bun too. And ideally, I think it'd be so cool to eventually get like chopsticks and do that because I love to drum. And I think that would just be really cool. But anywho, this is the outfit. I'm going to pair it with my Doc Martens and I'll show you guys the final product before I head out. Rest of the fit check, and of course the gloves, because honestly they do keep my hands warm. It's a huge bonus, and I like the way they look. Let's cheers. Cheers to your trip to Cancun. Woo! The Kensington, there's I like the tree in the background.
Oh yeah, that's
the
really
Christmas
cool.
tree.
I'll send a video to her.
I wanted to. It's like, man, your list is updated. I've been gone forever.
Cheers.
I didn't know stopping me.
Okay, I wanted to show you guys.
And they also planted the big sales rally up in the top.
I would love to eat a bunch of bread, but I just can't do that tonight. So
What do you think of this? You think of the soup? You didn't like it?
It's good.
Not that good?
I'm gonna do a video too.
All right, you're gonna do it?
Well, but we can both do it.
No.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn mine off.
Did you ever celebrate Christmas? Like growing up?
No.
Really? You were so Jewish.
No, it was just, we weren't that
Was I
Jewish.
supposed to go straight here?
I don't know.